Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Keep this photo safe as it forms the foundation of today's story. When I looked at it, a thought came to mind: if you don't have the strength to finish a fight, don't start it. We all have moments of doubt, we all have our weaknesses, and we all have our faults. No one is perfect. Why did this thought come to my mind? It's because this photo was taken between 2009 and 2010. The person in the photo was about 20 years old at the time, very young and just starting his military training. The photo was taken in a military camp during that period. At that time, this man, a beginner soldier with a private rank, didn't realize that he would one day become one of the most influential leaders of all time, achieving what many could never have imagined through a coup. Today he is youngest president in world and has become a powerful political force, making headlines worldwide with his extraordinary actions. But first, let me take you back in time to a long time ago. On September 5, 1852, in a building called Corinthian Hall, a well-known abolitionist, Frederick Douglass, stood before the Ladies' Anti-Slavery Society and spoke words that flowed like blood in the veins of African Americans. Even today, those words continue to circulate across the hills and valleys of Africa because they marked the moment when African Americans in the USA began to rise against oppression. At that time, Frederick Douglass boldly said, "Listen and hear me well. A slave who does not fight for his freedom, who refuses to rise against bondage, will remain a slave forever and does not merit concern." He meant that a slave who does not struggle to free himself from slavery will always remain enslaved, and such a person does not deserve any comfort. When we talk about a slave who does not deserve to be concerned because he sits back and waits for others to come and free him, it reminds me of words recently spoken at the 2023 AFR Russian Summit in St. Petersburg, Russia. These words came from a young man, a former soldier and now the father of 2 children, who has become a symbol of defiance against the European colonizers who continue to take advantage of Africa with their dishonest tactics. The person I am referring to is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who was present at a conference with some of the world's greatest leaders, including President Vladimir Putin, who vowed to stop Washington's interference in the politics of other countries. Ibrahim Traoré said, "Not a single question that is being asked we don't have an answer, and it turns out that here we can wash our linen because we feel like a family. It feels like a family in the sense that Russia is also a family for Africa." He accurately quoted the words Frederick Douglass said in 1852, which means this young man thoroughly read books without skipping and understood what was hidden within them. Those from the West call him a military Jun, but he says that this also speaks to him, as for others who have heard what he says, what he does in his political struggles, they immediately accepted what Magdalena Vaba called METM psychosis in 1976. In this theory, this scholar boldly claimed that in this mindset, when a person dies, their soul leaves their body and wanders in the air until it enters another person, who then acts and behaves as the previous person did. Those who observed this concluded, no doubt, when Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara, the hero and renowned figure from Burkina Faso, died tragically on October 15, 1987, his soul left Ouagadougou, where he died, and traveled past the Koko region, passing through the bows of U and Dadou. By the following year, 1988, it had settled in the commune of Bunduki, where Ibrahim Traoré was born that same year and grew up to resemble Thomas Sankara. The prophecies in the writings of Magdalena Vaba quote Friedrich Gödel and Arthur Schopenhauer, which claimed souls would leave one person and enter another, were fulfilled in the land of Burkina Faso, known as the land of upright men, as the people of Burkina Faso proudly say in their praises and tributes to their hero Thomas Sankara. Up until now, if you've been paying attention, the main story is about sharing some specific details about the world's youngest president, the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. I know you've heard a lot about him, but let me tell you something unique that you might not have known about this man who chose not to laugh, because there is nothing to laugh about in this world. Let's dive into the thoughts and ideologies of this bold old man who swore to lead the country wearing face mask like the ninja warriors from faraway lands such as Yamashiro Iga and Yamato. I'm sharing how this man, respected and revered in Africa, lives a humble life without the luxury cause that many other African presidents enjoy, while their citizens suffer from hunger and poverty in their countries. In the 2 years he has been in power, Traoré rejected the salary that presidents usually receive and chose to continue his salary as a military captain. Do you know why? Because he lives in a simple house, not a palace like others. You should also know about this man's survival of a sinister plot to overthrow him, a conspiracy funded with 5 billion CFA by some of his enemies. You should understand the depths of his life and how he has transformed his country, Burkina Faso, in just 2 years in power. At this point, one might wonder, who is Captain Ibrahim Ibrahim Traoré, where did he come from to find himself